What is up, everyone? It is David Mailer here, your Man on Fire mentor. And as always, it is an honor and it is a privilege to be able to serve my fellow brothers. So my question is simple. Are you guys ready to dive into the center of the fire today with me and have the discussion? And what is today's discussion about is how much longer are you, yes you, how much longer are you willing to tolerate less than you deserve? That is the question. Welcome aboard. I already see my brother Alan, who's following all the lives. Miss you, brother. Are you willing to tolerate less than you deserve, and how much longer are you willing to do so? So let's talk about that, guys. What are we actually talking about here? Well, one of my favorite teachings that I heard from one of my mentors is that many men fall into a complacency coma. They fall into a life of neutrality, a life of blandness, a life of ordinary, fair, good, okay. And this complacency coma is something that comes in unannounced. It flies underneath the radar. And you wake up maybe in your upper 30s, your 40s, perhaps your 50s, even later for some of you. And you're wondering, how did I get here? How is my life the way it is? And you want more passion, you want more fire, you want more vibrancy, you want more life, you want healthier, more vibrant and intimate relationships. You want to be more connected to your mission and your purpose. So how is it that you have what you have? And a part of that reason is you have fallen into the great addiction of the complacency coma, where you've settled. And the question for you today, what's in front of you, is how much longer are you willing to settle for less than you deserve? Now, sadly, most guys will talk about what they want. However, they're not ready, they're not willing, and they're not, and here's the key word, they're not hungry. They're not hungry enough to actually go and get what they want, what they know they're built for, what they know that they deserve. So you have this potential, you have this little moment of awareness of what could be, what's possible. What can I accomplish? What can I achieve? How can I succeed? What can I build? What can I create? And then there's the fear that cripples you, that paralyzes you, that keeps you stuck. And tick tock, the climb, the time keeps going by. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, tick tock. I'll get to it later. I'll get to it next week. I'll get to it after New Year's. I'll start on my birthday. I'll start on Monday. Does that sound familiar to some of you guys? That time never comes. Because what's lacking and what's missing, gentlemen, is your hunger. Your insatiable appetites, your unquenchable thirst to actually go after this higher standard. And what's in the way, most likely for most of you, is fear. Well, I'm afraid. Afraid of what? Are you afraid of your success? Are you afraid to fail? Are you afraid what it means if you were to fail? What does it mean? Does it mean you're dumb? Does it mean you're stupid? Does it mean you're unworthy? Does it mean you're not good enough? Does it mean you don't deserve to be loved? Does it mean that you're going to lose your family? You're going to be homeless? That your life was a waste of time? Because most of you are making it mean that. Otherwise, why wouldn't you go for it? Why wouldn't you let go of the trapeze? Why wouldn't you step into the world of faith? Why wouldn't you let go and just go for it? And here's the sad truth. Most men, sadly, get exactly what they're willing to tolerate. And most of us, sadly, have a very high threshold of allowing ourselves to live in a space of mediocrity, neutrality, blandness, okay, fair. And that's why we have what we have. We're lacking the hunger, we're lacking the drive, we're lacking the motivation, and for sure, and this is something that Man on Fire is all about, you don't have the support, you don't have the challenge, and you don't have the accountability, because if you did, how could you possibly be tolerating a life less than what your soul deserves? So how much longer are you willing to go? How much longer are you willing to live in this state where you're selling yourself, you're selling your family, and you're selling the world short of the real version of you? How long have you been tolerating less than you deserve? Now, who wants to know the main reason why you likely have been doing this? Put it in the chat. I want to know. I'm ready. Maybe Daniel wants to know. Maybe Ruben wants to know. Maybe Thomas wants to know. Maybe Alan wants to know. Who wants to know? Why is it that most men, maybe Joshua wants to know, why is it that most men have been tolerating less than they deserve? Who wants to know? Put it in the chat. I want to know. Smash up that like key. Boom, boom, boom. Throw me some fire signs. Be careful though. Fire spreads fast. The fire of passion, the fire of love, the fire that's in your heart, the fire of creation, the fire of your spirit, the fire of your soul. Be careful when you spread that fire. All right, you want to know? Well, we already said part of the reason is you've been tolerating it because you have fear. The other reason is you've been settling for a life of mediocrity and neutrality and complacency. You've fallen into that coma of complacency. But here's the thing. The very thing that is lacking, the very thing that is missing, the very thing that will allow you to no longer tolerate less than what you deserve is called emotions. What do you mean, David? What are you talking about? What I'm saying is that most of you are so stuck in your head that you're thinking about all of your changes. You're thinking about your frustration. You're thinking about your anger. You're thinking about this other life that you want. You're thinking about how you're going to make the changes. And it's important that you know, guys, that as long as you're thinking about it, you're not doing, you're not acting, you're not taking action. You have no emotional leverage. You have no emotion. You have no energy, emotion. Nothing is going to change as long as you are thinking about changing. Because the whole point of your thoughts is to actually prevent you from taking action. The fundamental purpose of thoughts, as taught to me by my mentor Donnie, is to stop you from taking action. Emotion is what gets a man to take action. Emotion is your leverage for change. And the problem is most men have lost their emotions. They've lost the very leverage behind how one changes their life, how one takes inspired action. It's called emotion. Now, why is this? Why is this? Who wants to know? Well, how does that happen? Great, I just need emotion and then my life will change? Yeah, that's correct. That's your first step. Get your emotional leverage. Step 2, get support, challenge, and accountability. That's what Man on Fire is all about. But why is it that man lacks emotional leverage? Put it in the chat if you know. Why does a man lack emotional leverage? Put it in the chat. I'm reading your comments. What do you think, guys? Why is it that a guy has lost his emotional leverage? Why do you think, Ruben? Why do you think that is, Daniel? Joshua? Guys out there, where's the emotional leverage? Well, here's the problem. The problem is that the culture, meaning the world that you grew up in, from your parents to the school system, to the town you live in, to the city you live in, to the country you live in, has encultured you into squashing and minimizing and suffocating and stifling your emotions. Yeah, you got rewarded in school for your good grades. You got rewarded for using your mind, the acuity of your mind, the sharpness of what comes out of your mouth. How dare you ever act out? How dare you ever show emotions? How dare you ever show anger? How dare you ever show frustration? Dad would withdraw his love. Don't you act like that, young man. Mom would pull back her love. The school would put you in detention because it was never modeled for you. How do you actually get with your emotions in a healthy way, in a constructive way, where that emotion could be your fuel and your leverage for change, for shift, for momentum, for progress, for growth in your life? No one ever taught you that the emotions are beautiful and that you should express them. No, we were taught stuff it down, suffocate it. Don't cry, don't yell, don't scream, don't get angry, don't get frustrated, don't make the sound. And then finally, you get to make those sounds in the hospital, in the emergency room, where it's socially appropriate. There it's okay. Otherwise, you get punished, or maybe you get put in a straitjacket and you get sent off to a psych ward, because God forbid you should be emotional. So little by little by little by little by little, your emotions have been taken away from you, and most men growing up as little boys did not develop a full capacity, a full range of their emotions. That suppresses your immune system. That doesn't allow you to fight off infectious disease, which we know there's been a problem over the last few years. You know what virus I'm referring to. And all of a sudden you got people that are sick that can't fight the virus because they lost their emotional leverage. And the less emotions you have, the more suppressed your immune system is. The more suppressed your immune system is, the less you're able to fight off invaders, and the less leverage you have for change in your life. So what's the antidote? The antidote is to finally give yourself permission to feel again, to cry again, to yell again, to scream again, to be frustrated, to be angry. And let me be very clear. I'm not telling you to ever project that onto anything or anyone. I'm not telling you to yell at someone or something. No. You get with this energy, you get with this feeling, you get with this experience, you get with this sound in a way that's constructive. You yell into a pillow, you yell into your arm, but you give yourself permission to be with the emotion. Because without that emotion, you have killed your ability to take action. You have stifled, suffocated, drowned, minimized, taken away your ability to make change. Because now you're back in your head. When you're in your head, you're dead. Analysis paralysis. As long as you're in your head, you're not taking action. As long as you're not taking action, nothing in your life is changing. So when the question has been posed to you, which is how long have you been tolerating less than you deserve, for most of you, it's a long time. For most of you, it's a long time. And the reason is because you don't have the emotional leverage to say the magical words. What's the magical word? What is the magical word that you would need to say to put an end to all of this? Who knows? Type it in. Scott, who knows? What's the magical word? I want to see if somebody types it below in the chat. For all you guys following me out there for the past 13 minutes. What is the magical word that you have to say with some emotion behind it, with some leverage behind it? That is right, Peter. That is right, Joshua. That is right, Scott. We got people listening. They're waking up. Now, the word is enough. So, that's right, rage. Do you say enough like this? Enough. Enough of me playing small. Enough of me settling for less than who I am. Enough of me not showing up in my relationship. Enough of me not having intimacy. Enough of me selling my family short. No, that's mental. It's enough. Enough. Where you're saying it, where there's energy behind it, there's body movement behind it. Enough. Enough of me playing small. Enough of me tolerating less than who I was born to be. Enough of selling my family short. Enough of dishonoring my true potential as a man. Enough of hiding. Enough of lying. Enough of disrespecting myself. Enough of the lies. Enough of the bullshit. Enough. There's a good start. Now, does it mean you have to scream it and yell it? For many of you, yeah. Initially, you might have to because you have gone so long without feeling. You have gone so long being in this anesthetized coma. You've gone so long without expressing yourself, without moving your body, without the energy, without the sound, without the momentum. So for many of you, yeah, you do have to yell the words initially. But it's more about the congruence behind your energy. where you mean it. And this is exactly what we do at our Man on Fire Rising 4-day immersions. We help a man get into a space of congruence where the words behind what he's saying can be felt, meaning there's congruence in what he's saying. You could feel the depth of his sincerity. You could feel the authenticity. It's just like when somebody says, I love you. Can you feel them? Was it mental? Was it just words? Or could you feel what was behind the words? Just like when somebody says, thank you. Are they just saying it, going through the motions? The I love yous, or you're just going through the motions, or can you be felt? So in our Man on Fire Rising 4-day immersions, it's all about helping you guys be consistent, helping you be authentic, helping you be congruent, helping you be more real, and drop the facade, drop the masks, drop the lies, drop the bullshit, drop the stories, and teach you how to get into an emotional and a peak state where you will no longer tolerate less than what you and your soul deserves. You will no longer tolerate selling yourself, selling the world, selling your family short of the real version of you. People get hurt when you deny them your full potential. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting your wife. You're hurting your children. You're hurting humanity when you're selling them short of the real version of you. Well, some of you are wondering, well, geez, Dave, why are you being so hard on us, David? I'm trying to wake you up. For the guy out there that knows he's been sleeping, that knows he's been walking around in a coma like a zombie, smoking weed, zoning out, destroying his emotional leverage, drinking, porn, masturbation, video games, surfing social media all the time. Where are you? Where are you? Wake up. Wake up. You are built and you were born for more than this. Who else is going to wake you up? It's not your wife's responsibility. It's not your kids' responsibility. It's not your family's responsibility. This is why we need a mentor. This is why we need sometimes a coach, a brotherhood behind you to look you dead in the eye and say, hey, you are built for more than this. You are better than this. You're selling yourself short and you're hurting yourself and you're hurting others by you not having the courage to stand in the fire of your true potential and your true greatness. And you've been lying to yourself, living in a space of fear, a state of fear. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm too stupid. I'm too dumb. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. Nonsense. Guys, and for the man that needs to hear this right now, you are so much more than this. We're all created equally. We all have the opportunity to live into our true potential. And it doesn't need to be hard. It could be done with love. It could be done with grace. It could be done with levity, with humor, with a playful spirit. I have created a community, a brotherhood of men, where we stand for one another in our true potential. And we don't tolerate the nonsense. We don't tolerate the bullshit. We don't tolerate the lies. We don't tolerate the shrinking and the contracting and the living in the head. We push, we stretch, we challenge, and we hold each other accountable to the fire of our true greatness and our true potential, knowing that inside each of us is a leader that's been waiting to emerge. That's a man that needs to come out, and in his growth and in the up-leveling of his consciousness, protect the sacred feminine flower, the women in your life, instead of hurting them, yelling at them, gaslighting them, speaking poorly about them, regardless of what they've done. At one point, they were a little girl. They were a delicate flower, and so too were you, and so too was your son. You have lost yourself, most probably, and it's time to come home to the real you. It's time to wake up. It's time to remember who you really are and get back to being that masculine leader. Get back to protecting the feminine. Get back to up-leveling yourself as a man, growing, stretching, evolving, up-leveling your frequency, up-leveling your tone, up-leveling your consciousness, and giving back to the world the gift of who you are. not hiding on the couch, not hiding behind weed, not hiding behind alcohol, behind porn, behind strip clubs. That's not you. Wake up. For the guy that needs to hear this, wake up. It is time. And for most of you, you can't do it alone. I couldn't do it alone, and most likely you can't do it alone. And if you know the guy that's listening right now, whether it's on the podcast, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever else we're appearing, for the guy that knows he needs to hear this, for the guy that I'm talking to, a spirit, to a soul right now, if you need support, if you need challenge, and you need accountability, and you are ready to make an investment in yourself financially and time-wise, and you want to be a part of one of our coaching programs and explore a conversation with our coach, one of our senior coaches, to determine which of our programs is best for you, then type in big fat capital letters below, I'm ready. I am ready. Big fat capital letters. I am ready. I am ready to invest in my growth. I am ready to take a leap of faith. I am ready to feel my emotions again. I am ready to be supported. I am ready to be challenged. I am ready to be held accountable. I am ready to give up this complacency coma. I'm ready to step into who God made me to be. I'm ready to live into that leadership. Hold my ass to the fire. Hold my ass accountable. I am ready. I want to have a real conversation with one of your coaches, David. I don't want to waste his time. I don't want to waste my time. By the way, guys, for the guy that's looking for the free stuff, that can't invest in himself, then just keep following me on these social platforms. For the guy that's ready to make a significant investment in himself and get into a coaching program where more eyes and more leadership can be on you, where you'll have greater support, challenge, and accountability, type it in below. I am ready. That's the guy I'm talking to. There's no magical pill, potion, or lotion that's going to save your ass. No one's hitting you over the head and you wake up and all of a sudden you're living a different life. No. If you want to be held accountable and you're ready to do the work, Man on Fire is the right community for you. If you resonate with me, if you're hearing my message, if it's speaking to your heart, Man on Fire is the right community for you. If this is the first time you've ever heard me and you want to do more research, you want to get more information, great. We're all over social platforms. Do all the due diligence that you can, and when you're ready, reach out to us. But don't type in I am ready if you're not ready. Don't type in I am ready if you can't invest in yourself. So many guys are investing in cigarettes, in weed, in porn, in junk, in materialistic shit that they don't need. Now, I don't have the money. I don't have the money. Bullshit. You don't have the right priorities in your life. You don't have somebody in your face like I'll get in your face and my coaches will get in your face and give you the truth. Stop selling yourself short. Stop tolerating less than what you deserve in this lifetime. Life is short. Life is precious. We are here to play hard and to live hard and to love hard. Said with love to each and every one of the guys out there that needed to hear this. It's with so much love and so much respect for each and every one of you. It's your Man on Fire mentor, David Mailer, saying God bless and I love you. Put below your final comments. What was the big aha you got today? What was the takeaway that you got? Throw me one last fire sign. Smash up that like key. Share this with friends that you know need to hear this message. And don't sit on this. For anyone listening right now, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to lose weight. Great, get up right now and go run. Start screaming enough. Start screaming enough and go for that run. Get to the gym. Do whatever you have to do to get that emotional leverage. Reach out your hand. Let us support you. Let us challenge you. Let us hold you accountable. It's your Man on Fire mentor, David Mailer. Love you guys. See you next week.